To talk to you briefly about artistic process and artistic growth and creative development. The classes that I'm doing now at the moment are focusing on creative development more so than our finished piece. We are going to be concentrating on how we get to a piece that we are proud of and that we love and that we can stand by and say, yeah, I can't believe I created that. That's why I want you to feel when you're finished painting after these lessons. So one of the biggest hurdles I think that artists face is it's a catch-22 when you start a piece and you realise that this piece is actually turning out okay. You're liking this piece, so we're looking at it and we're going, ooh, we're liking this, the colours are nice, I'm actually onto something here. You're starting to emotionally invest in it, and then we're afraid to move forward with this piece. Now I know you all, I know you know what I'm talking about here. Any artist that has ever arted has come to a point where they're like, I don't want to go any further with this piece because I love it so much. I've done something here and I don't want to undo it. So what I recommend, or what I think is invaluable, to be able to push through that without any fear, because this is the fear that stops us, that we end up ruining it then because we're too rigid, we're terrified, we're holding back that flow of energy that creates art, that flows through us. We are now putting a block on this. We're now saying, I can't let it all through because I don't trust it. I don't trust myself. I don't trust my hands. I don't trust my tools. So what we want to do is we want to understand how our tools work, and we want to understand how our hands are interacting with our tools, and the connection between your pen, your paintbrush, your marker. It becomes like when you're driving, your car is now an extension of your body. It's bringing you places, it's attached to you. You're separate, but you're working symbiotically. So we want to learn, how do we work symbiotically with our tools? We are going to invest in artistic play, creative exploitation. Exploitation, is that a word? Exploratory creation. Something like, you know what I'm talking about. That's what we're going to do. So what we need to do is we need to take a piece of paper and we need to come with the mindset of, this is not going to be our finished piece. We need to invest in our journey. You can't get to the end. You can't get to these fantastic creations that you're just so proud of without going through some training. It's like any great in their field, any athlete, they need to do training. We only see them on the world stage. We only see them at their fight. We rarely see them in the gym doing the small little steps that it takes to get to where they went. So when an athlete is getting ready to fight, they need to condition their core, they need to work on their endurance. There's all these little tiny things that come together to make the end piece. We only see the end piece. So we don't want to just, well, we do. It would be great if we could just get to this place, but it doesn't really work like that. So we're going to work on the training that it takes to get there. And these training sessions, they don't end up in the media. We don't pay-per-view a training session for a fighter. So these are things that are kind of thrown in the bin, so to speak. So you take your piece of paper, you're not going to sell this, you're probably not going to display it, you're going to put it in a drawer, throw it in the bin. You don't have to, but just so you can understand the mindset that we go into these sessions with, is that the value is in the process of this. That's where our value is. We want to take our piece of paper, we want to hold our pen, and we just want to make lines, we just want to make shapes, dots. How does this look on the page? What if I put a little bit more pressure on it? What if I flick it out like this? What's happening then is the paint splashing out. What about if I flick this one compared to if I flick a smaller nibbed one? What's the difference? Now we're learning here. We're learning how to trust our materials. We're learning how to free up that artistic energy and loosen up our style. We're not afraid. We're not afraid to lose this piece. It's fine. It's a practice piece. Take your paintbrush. Understand your tool. So we have paintbrushes, different sizes, different length handles, different thickness of bristles. What does this look like on the page? Let's paint. Let's pull the lines. Now let's gently pull the lines. What does this look like now? We're holding the paintbrush up at the top. We would ordinarily not really hold it there. We're trying something different. What does it look like if I do this? What shapes am I getting on the page? What way is the paint reacting to this? Now let's hold it at the top. What does this look like? We're going to drag it along with the paint on it. We're going to put some pressure on it. What does that look like on your page? We're going to hold it in the middle. We're going to do some swirls. We're going to flicks. I love flicks. These flicks that I do when I paint, when I draw, when I use the markers especially, they're freeing up your hand. If you're an athlete, I'm just going to keep on bringing it back to being an athlete. If you're an athlete, you can't start your training session until you warm up, because your body is stiff. Your body is, you want your brain to know, okay, we're about to do some training. You need to get prepared for that. Your mind knows, your brain knows, because of the cues that you give it, that something's going to happen. When you start warming up, your body knows it's about to work out. When you have a creative practice like this, your body starts kicking into creative flow mode. It knows you're about to paint. So you want to start your practice off with like a warm up. You want to warm your wrists up, warm your hands up, warm that flow up. Take your markers, just scribble, do some scribbling, do some flicking, do some dotting. Your body knows it's moving into creative mode, and it has to get out of it. Your mind has to get out of the way now, because you are going haphazard into this. You're just going to go flow state straight into this painting. So this is what the aim is, and it's so important to invest in creative play. It's going to get you where you want to be. It's going to teach you things. You're going to develop your own. This is how you will develop your own style. You will make mistakes inside of this that you're not afraid to do. You're not afraid to make these mistakes, and these mistakes could end up being where your style stems from. A lot of my style comes from mistakes I made while I was just creative playing, knocking things over, scribbling too far. You know, this, you look and you're like, oh, that line looks interesting, or that spill looks interesting, or that mixed nice with that colour. This is where you're going to get that deeper understanding of your practice. So I really hope that you invest in your creative play and in your creative journey, the way we all should, and enjoy that process as well. Having a beautiful finished piece is awesome. Like, I mean, that's what we want as artists. That's the aim at the end of the day. We want something that we can look at and say, and I'm proud of this, and I can't believe I created this, and this makes me happy. But if we want to get there, we need to take the necessary steps. We need to do the training. And look, creative play is so much more, in my opinion, fun than sweating in the gym. It's not like we have it hard. This is the best part. It's the best part. It's where you can be yourself, and you can learn who you are and what your artistic style is. So let's get started on investing in creative play and just enjoy it.